Am I the a-hole for getting my girlfriend arrested? That's the question I kept asking myself. I'm 32, and until recently, I thought I had a handle on things, especially relationships. Been through a few, seen some shit, figured I could spot a train wreck coming a mile away. Turns out, sometimes the train wreck is wearing a nice dress and smiling pretty, then pulls a switchblade on you when you're not looking. This isn't some sob story about how I got screwed. It's just how it went down. No melodrama, just the facts. It all blew up last night, a fight over a car repair bill. Nothing new. Really, money was always a sore spot with her. Sarah, she'd accuse me of hiding costs, trying to screw her over, even when I had every receipt. Laid out plain as day, I'd show them to her, item by item, and she'd just look at them like they were written in a foreign language. Then yell louder, "You're manipulating me," she screamed, her face getting redder than a stop sign. "I'll ruin your life." She'd said that before, usually when she wasn't getting her way, but this time felt different. There was a twitch in her eye, a kind of unhinged look I'd seen glimpses of but never this intense. I tried to stay calm, tried to talk her down. That was my first mistake, I guess. Always thought I could reason with people, even when they were clearly beyond it. My old man always said, "Son, you can't argue with crazy," and I always thought he was exaggerating. Now I know he was just being direct. She started getting physical, and that's when a little voice in my head, the one that's been honed by years of trying to be the steady, responsible guy, screamed at me to hit record. My phone was already in my hand, so I just tapped the camera icon. Not gonna lie, part of me was thinking, this is gonna be a shit show. Might as well have a record. The other part was genuinely worried about what she might do. She had a history of blowing up, but never like this. I was always the one who stayed cool, who kept things from going completely off the rails. Guess I figured if I was recording, she'd back down. That was another mistake. First, she grabbed the water bottle off my desk and dumped it all over my notebook. The one with all my D&D campaign notes, character sheets, world building, everything, weeks of work, ruined. Then she hit the keyboard, splashing water onto my external hard drive and some other electronics. I watched the power light on the drive flicker and die. My stomach dropped. That was years of files. Photos, backups, gone. What the hell? "Sarah," I yelled, finally losing my cool. "You just ruined my work." She just smirked, a nasty, twisted little grin. "Good." She spat. "You deserve it." Then she went for my medicine, my seizure meds. They were on the nightstand, right next to the bed. I keep them there so I can grab them in a hurry if I need to. They're important. Like, life and death important. "Sarah, don't touch those." I practically begged her, my voice tight. "Those are medically important." She just laughed, a high-pitched, manic sound that made the hairs on my arms stand up. She picked up the bottle, shaking it. "The world would be better off if you just jumped off a bridge," she sneered. My blood ran cold. This wasn't just anger anymore. This was something else, something dark and ugly. She clearly meant it. She then tossed the bottle onto the bed, like it was nothing, like it was a prop in her personal drama. My hands were shaking, but I kept the camera rolling. I didn't know what else to do. My brain was trying to process what was happening, but it felt like everything was moving in slow motion and hyperspeed all at once. Then she kicked over my bookshelf. Books, DVDs, all my old graphic novels, tumbling down in a heap. I flinched, instinctively stepping back. Before I could even react, she grabbed a lighter from her purse, flicked it open, and started trying to set the fallen books on fire. All on video, every single unhinged. Crazy moment. Holy shit. This wasn't a fight anymore. This was a full-blown meltdown, a dangerous one. I knew then I had to get out. Not run, not flee, but extract myself before things got worse. Before I had to defend myself and end up in a worse spot, I grabbed my car keys off the hook by the door, still filming, and practically sprinted out of the apartment. I heard her screaming something behind me, but I didn't look back. I just needed to be safe, needed to think. I locked myself in my car, shaking like a leaf. My mind was racing, trying to figure out what the hell just happened. My hands were still clammy as I pulled out my phone and dialed 911. My girlfriend, she attacked me. I stammered, trying to keep my voice steady. She destroyed my stuff, tried to set fire to my apartment. I'm in my car. I didn't want to fight. I explained where I was, what she'd done. The dispatcher was calm, asked me to stay put. I just sat there, heart pounding, watching the apartment building from a distance. A few minutes later, I saw the flashing lights, 2 patrol cars, then a third. The cops showed up, and I got out of my car, phone still in my hand. One officer, A big burly guy came over to me. "What's going on here, sir?" he asked. His voice calm but firm. I just played the video. I didn't have to say much. They watched the whole damn thing, her dumping water, trashing my desk, the medication, the bookshelf, the lighter. They saw it all. When it was over, the officer's face was grim. He nodded, then went inside with his partner. About 15 minutes later, they brought her out, hands cuffed behind her back. Sarah was crying, screaming about how I was a monster, how I'd made her do it, how she was the victim. Typical, but the video didn't lie. She was arrested. Domestic assault, property damage, attempted arson. Good. I was glad. Glad I called. Glad I didn't try to fight back. Glad I had the sense to record it. Because if I'd done anything at all, I'd be the one in cuffs. The next few days were a blur of police reports, calls with lawyers, and trying to sort through the damage in my apartment. My notebook was a goner. The electronics too. My insurance agent was a godsend, telling me what to do, what to document. Then came the family and friends part. And that's where things got really messy. Both our families have always, generally, been on her side. She's got this way about her, this innocent act she puts on, especially around older folks. My mom always thought she was sweet. My sister, too, her family, well, they just blindly supported her. I guess I was worried they'd argue she was justified, or that I provoked her. I'm honestly afraid I'll be ostracized by most of my social circle if she gets punished. Like I'm the bad guy for defending myself, and I'm worried she'll be back soon enough to harass me again. I mean, am I the a-hole? No. I keep telling myself that she's nuts. I was protecting myself. What happens next time she loses it? Now that she's been arrested, you think she's going to take that lightly? Hell no. This isn't over. I need to get away from her for good. Restraining order. Cameras everywhere. Watch my back. And if friends and family don't believe me, even with video evidence, they're not my friends, and they're not my real family. I decided to show the video to my family. Figured they deserved to know the truth, not just what Sarah would spin. My parents watched it in silence, their faces slowly changing from concern to shock, then to a kind of disgusted disbelief. My dad, who's usually pretty stoic, just shook his head. "Holy hell, son," he finally said. "That woman's unhinged." My mom looked like she was going to throw up. They mostly took my side. Mostly. That's the part that still pisses me off. What the hell does mostly mean? How could anyone watch that and not be 100% on my side? My sister, bless her heart, still tried to find an angle. Maybe she was just really stressed. You know, she offered. Weakly, I just looked at her. She tried to burn down my apartment. Sis, after threatening to ruin my life and telling me to jump off a bridge. Stressed. Huh. She shut up after that. I've been in contact with the police, who charged her with domestic assault, property damage, and attempted arson. I also requested a protective order. This whole thing has been a stressful nightmare, a constant knot in my stomach. I'm glad it's mostly under control now, and I hope to have all this behind me as soon as possible. But deep down, I know it ain't over. Someone like her, who feels like they have nothing to lose, that's a dangerous enemy. She's gonna get out, and then what? Someone that unhinged, that vindictive, isn't just going to disappear. This whole thing made me think about a lot of stuff. My buddy Mark went through something similar a few years back. His ex-wife was a classic manipulator, always playing the victim. She'd throw things at him, jab him with sharp objects, slam doors on his fingers, even bite him. He never did anything about it because she was a master at lying to the police. She'd pretend to be the victim to anyone who would listen. Mark finally got smart. She got wasted one night and attacked him in the bathroom, punching him, trying to bite his ears every time he tried to walk out. He couldn't fight back because he knew she'd have him jailed immediately. So he started recording her, captured her punching him, trying to bite him. He ran out of the house, took his son with him, went straight to the sheriff's department, showed them his wounds. The deputy apparently snickered at first, said his bites looked old. But when Mark whipped out his phone and showed him the video, the cop immediately got on the phone and had a deputy pick her up and charge her. Mark got a restraining order and got out of there. He always told me, "You gotta get it on camera, man. Otherwise, it's just your word against hers." And we both know how that goes. He was right. It's just a messed up game. Guys get accused of shit, and it's immediately believed. No questions asked. A woman says it. It's gospel. But when a woman goes off the rails, gets physical, people act like you should just take it. Like it's not real abuse. Like, what kind of man are you? If you complain, it's a joke. And then your own damn friends and family don't believe you, even with proof. Another guy I know, Steve, he's a laid back dude, always has been. He said he became an easy target for women who wanted to control him. Luckily, he had a manipulative mother, so he learned to spot the signs quick and shut it down. They never know why, he told me, but they back off. He uses that power over them, he says, to control them in reverse. He told me I should check my renter's insurance, file a claim, and give them the video so they can go after Sarah and her family. Good advice. A paper trail. That's what he called it. Use it to your advantage. My true friends, the real ones. They know my character. They know what kind of person I am. This whole thing has been a giant filter. You quickly realize who the snakes and the fakes are. If they choose her side when you literally have video proof, and you are scared enough to call the cops and break up with her. If they still choose her side simply because she's a woman, they're morons. And sexist. They're doing me a favor. Really, I can see who's on my side and who's not. My buddy Chris, he put it plain. If I was you, I'd be telling them exactly what happened before she does. Someone like her is going to tell a bunch of lies to look like the victim. You need to control the narrative. She wants to ruin your life and will try with her bullshit that she's going to spill. Show everyone the video and get cameras outside and inside your property. This woman actually sounds like a crazy, low-tech psycho narcissist who should be in a mental hospital. He wasn't wrong. He also said, don't be friends with anyone who's going to be friends with her. You don't want mutual friends with somebody as crazy as her, because you'll be getting updates about your life through them. That'll make you feel unsafe, and it could actually be unsafe for you. He also told me not to post anything about myself on social media. Make sure she's blocked, and watch that for a while too, because she'll use that as a way to find me and track me down. Solid advice. This whole thing has been a crash course in self-preservation. I used to think I was pretty good at reading people, at avoiding this kind of drama, but I let my guard down. I ignored the red flags early on, dismissed them as stress or just a bad mood. I believed I could fix her, or that I was different from her exes she always trashed. When she started pulling away, acting distant, I overcompensated, gave her more attention, more resources, thinking that would bring her back around. I trusted her version of events over my own observations. Those were all mistakes. Even when she started with the emotional manipulation, giving me the silent treatment, picking fights over nothing, I still gave her one more chance. I defended her to friends who clearly saw through her act. I took her back after she'd needed space, which I'm pretty sure meant she was seeing someone else. I even suggested couples therapy, thinking that could fix fundamental character issues. Sunk cost fallacy. And all the time and money I'd invested, I just couldn't let it go. I was stuck. But this was different. This wasn't just emotional manipulation. This was a direct threat. This was physical violence and attempted arson. This was a line that couldn't be uncrossed. When she tried to set my bookshelf on fire, something in me snapped. It wasn't anger, it was a cold, hard clarity. This wasn't a relationship. This was a war, and I was losing. Now, with the protective order in place, I'm trying to untangle everything, changing the locks, getting new electronics, going through my burned books and notes. It's a pain in the ass, but it's better than the alternative. I'm finding out who my real friends are. The ones who don't question me, who just say, what do you need? Man, how can I help? And the others, the ones who still try to justify our actions or act like I'm overreacting. They're getting cut off. No apologies. No explanations. Life's too short for that kind of bullshit. The stress has been gnawing at me. Sleep's been a mess. My appetite's shot. And I can feel the tension in my shoulders all the time. My focus at work has taken a hit too, which pisses me off. I pride myself on being a professional, on keeping my shit together. But it's hard when your personal life is a damn dumpster fire. But I'm dealing with it. I'm focusing on what I can control. This whole thing has recalibrated my trust settings. I'm not going to be cynical, but I'm definitely going to be more careful. I'm learning from this, without hating myself for the mistakes I made. I missed the red flags then, but I won't miss them again, and I'm building better screening processes for the future. Sarah's actions have consequences, and she's starting to face them. Her social circle, or what's left of it, is starting to see her true colors. Her reputation, what little she had, is shot. Financially, she's in a hole from her own entitled attitudes and bad decisions. I can only imagine how she'll repeat this pattern with others, and how quickly they'll recognize it. Her manipulation tactics won't work forever. Eventually, everyone catches on. She's losing the benefits she got from being with me, from my stability, from my money. She's facing the consequences of her actions alone. Good. That's how it should be. This ain't just a story, it's a warning. If you're a guy going through something like this, don't take that crap. Get video. Get out and get help. Stand strong. You deserve better. And if you know a guy who's dealing with this, listen to him. Believe him. Because the deck is stacked against us. And sometimes all we've got is each other.